So I wanted to do a quick review of my Smittybilt SRC roof rack for the Jeep TJ 97 to 06. Um, if you own a TJ, one of the main issues that you have is space. I actually just took out my rear seat for the first time since I've had this Jeep the past 7 years, and still there's not a lot of space. So I got this roof rack last year, and the main reason I got it is because I was planning on doing a road trip cross country, where they also make like a basket you can throw on top, and I was going to do that. But then COVID hit and decided not to do the road trip. But I've put the roof rack on last summer. I've had it for about a year. And as far as roof rack goes for the TJs, they're usually quite expensive. And this one is by far the least expensive one. It's $260. So like I said, this is Smittybilt SRC, but there's also I think Barricade makes the exact same one. Maybe it's just rebranded. But the big reason I decided to go with this roof rack is because, one, it's only $260 when most roof racks are upwards of $1,000. And then two is that you don't have to drill. It uses existing holes. So it mounts just outside the door here, and then to the rear bumper back here, on both sides. And then it's made up of 3 different pieces, or maybe 4. So you bolt what has this corner piece, then goes all the way up here, and then it bolts there. Then the long rail that carries all 3 overhanging bars, and then one more piece. So 3 pieces total. And like I couldn't find a ton of information about this roof rack when I was looking for a roof rack to buy. That's why I wanted to make this. Overall, I think it's a good rack. It's extremely functional. It doesn't look great, especially from behind. It makes the Jeep kind of look boxy. This is a 97 TJ with a 2.5-inch lift and 32s. That I recently put on. So when this was stock, it kind of looked really weird with the roof rack. That's the one thing I don't like about the roof rack is the way it looks. But I've used it for canoes and kayaks. It works well. I think it can hold up to about 300 pounds. I have no wear tear after a year. On the texture of paint, it looks brand new. One thing I will say is it comes with like little thumb screws you're supposed to put here. You're actually supposed to put these screws the other way. But the thumb screws, they just glue this nut right here into it, and it's super easy to come off. So those actually all ripped off, and or a couple of them ripped off. So then I just ripped all the rest of them and just carry around a crescent wrench and then an Allen wrench to put this on, and then put it down and painted the nuts black to just match the Jeep a little bit better. But that's another nice thing about this roof rack is that you can take off these crossbars super easily within 5 minutes on and off if you want to put the top back on. In fact, I got caught in a storm the other day and removed the crossbars, threw them in the back of the Jeep, and put the top on. So that's one of the big pluses of this roof rack, which is also kind of hard to find unless you pay a lot of money. But like overall, I think it's a good rack. I just don't like the way it looks. I think I might actually take it off, simply because it looks kind of just way too boxy for me. I will say also, I don't know if this is like installation error, but the left side over here kind of goes off to the side, and the right side is more straight. I've also had a couple problems with so right now the crossbars sit flush with the roof rack. Well, this one you can see is kind of sticking up a little bit. But so Smittybilt, they sent me so it comes with 3 crossbars, and the top one right here is the shortest one, and then these 2 are the same length. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that because they didn't say anything about that in the instructions. But they're really easy to put on, but if you want to get them perfectly flush, like this is about as good as I can get it with 2 people like pulling the Jeep together and then tightening it. It's kind of a pain to do that. But like I said, for $260, not having to drill into your Jeep and having the ability to remove this if you want to throw the top on and off, because I do throw the top on and off a lot, is super nice. the main con is, at least for me, the way it looks. I'm not a huge fan of it. But I mean, you really can't complain for $260. So I hope this gives you a better idea if you're looking at this roof rack of what it looks like. Like I said, my Jeep's on 32s. So, you know, if maybe if you have a stock Jeep, I told you when my Jeep was stock, it looked really goofy. But I mean, if you're looking for just function instead of style, then this is perfect in my opinion. It doesn't look awful, but I'm just not a huge fan of the way it looks. And then also kind of when driving too, like it kind of takes away the open Jeep feel because you have these bars on top, which I'm not a huge fan of. And then I've been having to run half doors. We're having to run my half doors because the mirror relocation brackets that I have mount here, or basically almost every TJ1 mounts here. And I couldn't do that with once I put this on, so I kind of have to run doors for now. They also make mirror relocation brackets that go up here, but I have lights up here, so I mean, they do make them that go inside the door right here, but those are quite expensive. So that's just something to think about if you're thinking about this roof rack. But overall, for $260, I think you can't beat it. I haven't had it, like I said, no problems with the paint. Really easy to remove, really easy to install too, didn't take long at all. And you have that added functionality of being able to remove the top and put the top back on. Haven't had any problems with it really, just not happy with how it looks. So yeah, I hope that gives you a better idea of the roof rack. Like I said, it's a Smittybilt SRC. Also Barricade makes the exact same one as well. So if you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to let me know and I'll try to respond. But overall, I was pretty happy with it. I would rate it like 8 out of 10. Just not a huge fan of the way, how boxy it makes the Jeep look.